from someone last week who said, I've had it. I can't take any more of this. I just want to give up. How well do you stand up under pressure? That's what I'm talking about today. Standing strong under pressure. You know, so often what we really need is just to be patient and wait on the Lord. Now, Paul tells us in Galatians 5:22 that patience is something, it is a fruit that the Holy Spirit produces in our lives. And patience is the capacity to tolerate delay. It is the capacity to tolerate trouble or suffering, not only just to tolerate it, but to tolerate it without becoming angry or upset. You see, when believers can stand up under pressure as they are suffering, when they're suffering, when they have problems in their personal lives, if they're able to stand strong, that testimony will be a testimony to the world. In other words, if we're able to stand strong when there's pressure in our lives, then we become a testimony to the world that knowing Christ makes a difference. Knowing the Messiah makes a difference. You want to know something? The world will stop and listen to someone who is victorious over conflicts. Now listen, not only victorious, but you're maintaining a good, godly attitude. That makes a difference. We can endure something, kicking and screaming, we get through it. But what about your attitude? It is how we deal with it that brings glory to the Father. It is how we deal with it that will cause others to come to the Lord. See, that's why we have to develop this fruit of patience. Patient, another word for patient means long suffering, and long suffering produces endurance. We read in Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1. So then, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us too put aside every impediment, that is the sin, which easily hampers our onward move. And listen, and keep running with endurance in the contest set before you. Keep running with endurance. Don't give up. But listen, running with endurance is going to require us to keep our eyes on Yeshua instead of on our circumstances. Because listen, only Yeshua can empower us to persevere in the face of severe pressure. Can't do it on our own. Only Yeshua. We have to focus on him. That's why Paul said in Philippians 4:13, I have strength to do all through Yeshua, who empowers me. That same empowerment is available for you today. It is available for me. It is available for all of those who are grounded in Yeshua. So many believers, so many of us are like the prophet Jeremiah. He complained to Yahweh about the condition of the world, and he wanted to know why y'all did nothing about it. So we read about this in Jeremiah chapter 12, verses 1 through 5. Jeremiah says, Yahweh, although you would be in the right if I were to dispute with you, nevertheless, I want to discuss some point of justice with you. Why do the wicked prosper? Why do the treacherous all thrive? You planted them and they took root, they grow and they bear fruit. You are near in their mouth, though far from their hearts. But Yahweh, you know me and see me. You test my devotion to you. So drag them away like sheep to the slaughter and set them apart for the day of slaughter. And look at verse 4. He says, how long must the land mourn and the grass and all the field wither? The wild animals and birds are consumed because of the wickedness of those who live there. For they say, he will not see how we end up. Now, no doubt Jeremiah was expecting Yah to say, you're right, Jeremiah, the land is wicked and I'm going to take care of it. But you know what Yah said to him in verse 5? The Lord answered Jeremiah, if raising men on foot exalts you, how will you compete against horses? You may feel secure in a land of peace, but how will you do it in the Jordan thick bushes? You know what he's saying here? Jeremiah, you can't even handle small problems. How are you going to handle large problems? If you fall apart just seeing this little thing, how are you going to handle big matters? So often we just fall apart when something very minor attacks our life. But he said, when super things come, when big things come in your life, are you going to fall apart or will you continue to trust him? So when your problems overwhelm you and the end does not seem to be in sight, you know what you need to do? Wait patiently for Yah to act on your behalf. David said, I waited patiently for Yahweh, and he bowed down to me and heard my cry. Oswald Chambers said, don't jump to conclusion too quickly. Many things lie unsolved. And the biggest test of all is that God looks as if he were totally indifferent. God engineers our circumstances as he did those of his son. All we have to do is to follow where he places us. The majority of us are busy trying to place ourselves. God alters things while we wait for him. Unquote. How do you stand up under pressure? Let me encourage you to wait patiently for Yah to act. Shalom.